that Samantha chick on the group because I'm tired of waiting for George to trade with me.
Guys,
you always message me.
This is going to be our worst show ever because we're not talking about hentai.
We can talk about hentai if you want. I mean, shit, bitch.
No, it's too late. We've already gone too far.
You mean I've already gone too far?
Oh my God, Brian!
That was a dick joke. Go.
Anyway, welcome, guys.
Oh God, it just started immediately. It was great. Hey, y'all.
We've been started. I said we're on, and
been started.
Just like, nope.
Oh well. Hey, y'all.
See, worst podcast ever.
We already have terrible luck. So tonight we've got a slew of topics for you all, the most prominent of which are the VGA Awards and our 15 first impressions. And on top of that, the Death Stranding trailer that came out last night, the Urza versus Zorro video that Screw Attack did. We'll be doing our own impressions of that and a live reaction because I have not fucking watched that. None of us have, I don't think.
Wait, a new Death Stranding trailer dropped?
Yeah, it did last night.
It's like 4 minutes or something.
You want to watch it with us, George?
I only watched like 3 minutes of it.
But yeah. So we're going to have a hell of a show tonight. So in the spirit of things, let's let Shellie choose what topic to we discuss first.
In the spirit of just getting things out of the way, let's talk about 15.
All right. Yeah, Shellie does not play Final Fantasy 15, and this is going to be a big-ass topic. So
I mean, for you.
Let's go ahead.
I just started the game.
So I want to start off with the release day and the pre-release day when the reviews came out. And just people were flipping their shit. And I was hearing good things. I was hearing bad things. I was hearing people talk like shit on the story. I was hearing people talk shit on just the score itself and how like the number one thing I saw was just how it scored lower than 13 did back in the day, which has been since I was in high school. And people were just freaking out. And people were having a good time, people were having a bad time, and I just thought that this is one of the most like bizarre like release days I've ever seen for any game ever, because you guys heard about like how it sold 5 million copies its first day, right?
No, it shipped 5 million copies.
It
sold 5 million copies.
Brian, shipped and sold are two different things.
Based on selling, it sold 5 million copies.
Brian, it shipped 5 million copies.
And digitally and physically.
Brian, I'm just telling you what it said. It shipped 5 million copies.
Digitally and physically, it is sold 5 million copies. I'm about to get proved wrong, but I don't give a fuck.
I just don't want you giving out false information.
Wow.
Hold up. Physical shipments and digital sales exceed 5 million copies on first day.
Physical shipments.
And digital sales.
Yeah, those are sales to stores, not sales to actual people.
No, digital shipments? I mean, not digital shipments, goodness. Digital sales?
Yeah, but those digital sales aren't going to equal 5 million. So again, like I said, those physical shipments are to stores, not to actual people. But it's still probably sold. It probably sold around 3 million or 4 million, somewhere around there.
Well, while y'all are doing that,
it says in the article, it said that on PS4 and Xbox One, Square Enix announced that the game sold more than 5 million copies on its first day when it went on sale.
Wait, where'd you read that?
On Anime News Network.
No, all right then. Because Anime News Network is where I go for my gaming news.
But yeah, the day one was just insane, and I won't lie. Like, I got off of work, I had that Tuesday to myself. I went and got my deluxe edition, had my little funny Snapchat up.
Guys, I'm gonna leave and come
and
back.
then
Okay, I'm coming back.
That was insulting.
you didn't like my anime stuff?
I miss Somnus. I really do.
They have it in the game, George.
It's not the point. It's not the theme anymore.
Damn.
But yeah, I got home, and the only thing that I was angry about, and I'll be completely honest with you, is like that 3-4 hour update that I had to do, because I wasn't going to play the game without updating it, because I knew that it was going to be so much better if I just let the day one patch roll in. Also, I wanted that music player eventually, which I still haven't found in game. But I ended up playing for about 5 hours Tuesday night. I haven't had really a chance to play any more than that. But I will tell you that there are quite a few things that I am upset – well, not upset about, that irk me, but there are also a lot of things that I love about the game. And to give you, like, a little bit of a insight into my progress, I'm level 20 now. And I'm barely in – well, I'm a little bit into the game's second chapter, and there's 15 total. And a lot of that leveling up has to do with me grinding side quests, and also I found a cactuar, like, right next to Hammerhead, and I beat the shit out of it. And it got me, like, 4,000 experience. But what do you think, George? Like, what? Let me hear what your thoughts are, because you literally just started the game.
Is my phone ringing?
I don't know. Your phone ringing?
In game, yeah. Well, I just finished the first mission, first part, whatever, Popper Prince, episode Duske. And, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. As much as I didn't gripe, I had a bit of a, I don't know, sad face moment, because I'm like, yeah, we got 15, but it's certainly come a long way from what Versus 13 was, and
I'm glad
to
you
have seen
touched
Versus
on that.
13.
I'm glad you touched on that. Have you seen Kingsglaive?
No.
Okay, well, spoilers for Kingsglaive, everybody, because I mean, you've already figured you're gonna figure it out in game, and they told us in the multiple trailers and like the summary of stuff. Some shit goes down in Kingsglaive, and it's basically like that first chapter of the game of Final Fantasy 15. It's what King Regis and what's happening in Insomnia. Kingsglaive is nothing but all of those trailers that Square released for Versus 13, but reskinned without Noctis.
Okay.
Like, it's literally all those CGI skins. You know, like the scene where it had all the people in the room.
Everybody's having to make a standoff.
Yeah, it has that in there. It has the party where it was originally Noctis and Stella. It's Luna Freya and the main guy, Nyx, from the movie. And she's just talking to him. They even have Etro's portrait in the background. You could see reskinned Etro.
You dang right they got Etro.
And they played Somnus while the whole scene was going on, but just the violin Somnus, not OG Somnus.
I ain't something.
But Kingsglaive was just filled with all of that stuff that were from like the old trailers and things that you'd see. And it actually gave a little bit of insight into the lore of the game, but I'm not spoiling any specific plot points. But what frustrated me about the movie, and this is my honest opinion, like, it looked beautiful, but the story was so inconsequential because the only characters that matter in that movie were King Regis and Luna Freya, because everybody else in that game, in that movie, and the guy with the top hat with the purple hair, he was in it. Like, those are the only characters of consequence in the movie, because everybody else who's like a main character, I say main character very loosely, gets written out of the movie and out of the game, like, very conveniently. Like, people either die or they just walk off set, never to return. But it just... The movie ends with, like, the four, like, main characters of 15, like, their car breaking it down. And so that's it. But... Oh my god! Like... Oh, I wasn't even paying attention, Shelly. What did you send?
Oh, nothing.
Well, let's look at here.
Wait, what did you say?
Let's
oh my
look
god,
at here. I was talking about, like, the beginning of 15 and finally getting to play it. Shelly, why'd you do? Don't put that in the chat.
I was just
What do you do?
on Facebook.
When she rubs your belly and calls it sexy, but when y'all argue, she calls you a fat ass bitch. Damn.
Oh,
That hurts. That hurts me on a personal level.
Right, you're not even fat.
I'm not even fat, but it still hurts me to think about that. Okay, so my initial impressions, though. Here are my complaints, and these are little gripes. They're not like huge-ass things. The UI is glitchy as fuck. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, because basically what I've noticed in my game specifically is that, like, anything like the name of the weapon you have equipped and, like, the, like, little bit of the UI for the weapon specifically, like, when you're moving the camera and your character's, like, running and stuff, it'll, like, trail behind and leave a blur effect, and the text will be off from where it was originally intended, like it's trying to stick with the camera. And I'm sure they'll patch that eventually, because it's a very minor thing. But it kind of took me out of the experience when I was first playing, but I'm kind of used to it now. I don't even look at it. There's no button mapping. Pisses me off, because my biggest problem with this game, especially like in the early like hours of me playing, I kept trying to play it like The Witcher 3 and then like Kingdom Hearts. And that it did not work out well for me, because I was hitting the wrong buttons all the time. Because it's circle to attack, and it's circle to jump in Kingdom Hearts, and it's circle to do stuff. It's circle to dodge in Witcher 3, so I was just hitting the wrong buttons every single time. But I'm getting better at it, and warping is still a big thing for me, because I don't warp ever, but it's very convenient in certain situations.
what?
What? What you thinking, George, while you play the game?
Oh, it's my turn?
No, I was just saying, like, what'd you say what for?
Well,
I heard it.
What I was gonna say was that part of my earlier statement was that I can still see like small touches from Versus 13 that I see now in the final game that I didn't quite see in Duske or Platinum Demo. So the fact that that's kind of like brought back, at least aesthetically anyway, is probably nothing I could put my finger on, but the feel at least feels like they tried to surface.
The game, honestly, like, because I thought about it, because at a certain point I like looked at a character model for like an NPC, and I said, this reminds me of Final Fantasy 13, and I was like, I don't know if that's good or bad. Specifically Lightning Returns, and that was definitely a bad moment for me, because I was like, oh shit. And then I like played the game some more, and I was like, okay, good. It was just a fleeting thing. You could definitely feel the influence of Final Fantasy 13 in here, and like what it would have been. But I feel like this is what they were aiming towards eventually with Final Fantasy 13, like Lightning Returns. Because I think that game was like a very, very early prototype of what 15 was going to be. Except, very shit, and only one party member, and you can't free battle. Anyway, Another bad thing that like I have noticed, and I noticed this. They said it in the review, but the camera's gonna fuck you in combat. Like it already happened to me. Like the first day I played, there was a tree out in the desert, and it just did not want to become transparent while I was fighting. So I was like fighting and trying to do combos and hitting the wrong buttons to dodge and whatnot. While I'm trying, I've got this like model of a tree in my way, so I can't see Noctis move or any of the enemies around me. So I was trying to like maneuver out of that, but then like the camera was not agreeing with me. The enemies were trailing me and hitting me and blitzing me while I was trying to like figure out all that shit out. But that really wasn't a big deal for me, like in any other part of the game. It stands when it's in narrow areas, like the camera is going to be more finicky, but that was the case in most every Kingdom Hearts game that I played, and I'm used to shitty cameras in those games, so I got over it. I'm very glad, too, that I watched Kingsglaive, and honest to God, George, if you haven't watched Kingsglaive, like, might want to watch it after the first chapter, because that gives a lot of context to everything. I'm glad I watched Brotherhood, too, because that did give me some backstory on everybody's characters and where they came from. They have not and they will not go over in the main game, so that's good to know. And these are more of like my personal complaints now, like just nitpicking. Noctis runs really funny because he favors his left side a lot when he runs. He tilts his head, and it just looks weird.
Brian, that's literally the definition of nitpicking.
I know. I just said it was nitpicking because I read it and I was like, this is just me nitpicking at this point. Because his mocap is really good sometimes, but sometimes I'm just like, wow, what the hell? Why are they doing this? And probably like my biggest complaint is the auto blitz system, where you just like can hold down the circle button to like unleash combos. Every weapon that there is has a certain way that a combo can unfold depending on how you like tilt the direction, tilt the analog stick in the combo. But they don't tell you how it modifies the combo anywhere in the game. You just have to experiment and figure it out, and that kind of pisses me off because like I would like to know how to. Because if you use the javelin a certain way, you use a jump attack in the middle of a combo, and that's a pretty good attack, and it offers you a few iframes, and I'd like to know how to trigger it like faithfully instead of just guessing and hoping that I trigger it in combat.
Oh my god.
But other than that, like, I just play it like Kingdom Hearts, honest to God, because like I don't hold down the circle button, I just press it and button mash. And it feels fine. But I will say, like, those are the nitpicks. I love the teamwork and like the link attack system, because basically if you like do a certain action in combat, like your party members automatically come up and they'll if you do like an attack from behind and you do extra damage to an enemy, like say one of your party members will come up and they'll like do something else with you, and they'll do like an extra critical hit attack, or they'll come in and they'll do a heavy blow for you like immediately, and they'll let you follow up with another attack. They have technique skills, which are basically like in the Duskai demo, or the Duskai according to this game, in the demo, these basically triggered like automatically, like they would just give you a button prompt and then you'd use the attack. Well, in here you can manually trigger any of the techniques as long as your technique bar is filled to a certain degree. And the good thing about those is that they give your party member that's doing the technique iframes, so like nobody can get hit, or that person can't get hit while they're performing it, and also Noctis can't get hit. But like the other two party members, they're gonna get hit and they will die. I have had it happen to me, but it offers a little bit of a breather for you if you're playing as Noctis, because you can wait for the animation of the attack to finish before you do a follow up, and it can give you like just some room to like prepare to use a potion or something. And I am Cactuar, because that Cactuar almost killed me. The game actually it may help me figure out something wrong with my TV too, because like I've complained before. I know like how my TV would like cut out certain things in different video games or like anime that I was watching. Well, because I looked it up because the UI for the game was like shifted to the right a little bit, so like some of the game was just hanging off the screen, and I couldn't see it and I couldn't look at it because like the text for like objectives and stuff, like it was cut off at some points and I just couldn't read it. So I said, okay, there has to be something wrong. There's no way they'd ship a game that would be this broken as far as display goes. So I fooled around with my TV and I finally fixed it, and my TV's like non-scaled now so I can see the entire game, and it works well. And I finally fixed an issue that I've been dealing with for about a year. I see that picture you put up. That's another thing I love about this game.
How the heck does Prompto just have time to...
He doesn't.
Pictures during the fight.
And I've got a shit ton of those that are really fun. I'll put one up and I'll share it into the Facebook group soon. But yeah, that's another thing that I really like about this game, like the random pictures that Prompto takes, because you can get some really cool shots, and you can get some really funny ones too. There was one of me kicking one of those like unicorn things, like while I was on the ground and I had already hit it, and then I was kicking it while it was down. It was really fucking hilarious. There's another one of Noctis dabbing on accident. Like I don't know what I was doing, but he's dabbing, and it's great.
Yeah, I've seen those on some of my friends.
But so far so good. I mean, the combat is really fun, especially when you're fighting mob battles. The difficulty is reasonable, and they give you elixirs and mega elixirs like crazy if you know where to look for them, and that really helps out. The only thing, like, it just gets a little hectic if you're in a narrow area, but the difficulty scale's nice. Everything works well, and you know, people were complaining about the story and it not being as good as they had not that it's not as good as they anticipated, but it being a little bit confusing. I'm like, well, every Final Fantasy entry's got a confusing story, and if you don't read into it, 13, like the entire trilogy, like demanded that you have prior knowledge of the Fabula Nova Crystallis mythology, and I did, and I enjoyed it, and I loved it, and people didn't. Hashtag member of the wiki. But yeah, watch Brotherhood, watch Kingsglaive, guys, if you want to understand the whole plot and get some backstory that you need, because they're not going to go over it in the game. They really put things into context. And have fun with it. Play it at your pace. I'm savoring this. Don't be like Hiro Mashima and beat the game in 2 days.
That's how he plans his manga in 2 days and it's done.
I mean, he could just be like Togashi and, you know, take like a month and a half hiatus to play Dragon Quest.
No, if he was like Togashi, he would take a year and a half hiatus and then just forget about his shit manga.
But Togashi doesn't have a shit manga.
I know.
I don't think Fairy Tail's complete shit. I think it has its merits.
Yeah.
It is not for people who take themselves... It's not for people who want to take their entertainment too seriously. It is light entertainment. It is junk food anime.
Don't get killed getting killed.
Okay. See, here's the thing. If you don't want your manga to be taken seriously, don't put your characters in danger.
Or real danger.
Or don't put them in fake danger.
Exactly. Alright, well, I think that's enough with 15. I have something that I want to talk about next stream, and that's going to be like 13. But I didn't have time this time. So let's go ahead and talk about the VGA awards, because that's going to be the meat of this podcast.
Is it really? Is the video game awards? gonna be the meat of the podcast? Because you said VGA Awards. The A already stands for awards.
I know. I keep saying that, and I keep putting that in search engines too, and it doesn't work.
These are the awards for the awards.
Okay, I got you. C&C Bros giving awards to the VGA Awards.
They didn't win.
Okay, let me look up.
I got the
it's
list
on Wikipedia.
Here. I got the list.
Send it to us, or send us the link.
I mean, like,
because I was looking at it on Wikipedia, but all right.
You got the results, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why does it have a picture of Uncharted 4 when Uncharted 4 didn't win Game of the Year?
Right.
I'll play it eventually.
List of the award winners from our good friends at IGN.
All right, so I think some people expected this, but some people didn't want it to happen. And Game of the Year obviously was Overwatch, and
it was. I mean, it was only between two games. No other games were in contention.
That's the point, Shellie. But I agree with it. I think Overwatch deserves it because I think that it's become sort of like not cultural icon, but I think it's become like this like haven of video game. Because people love this game, like they follow it so intently. Like I haven't seen like this much hype for a game and just like this big of a backing since Call of Duty came out, and like it caught its stride at Modern Warfare 2.
Just compare this to Call of Duty.
Yes, because I remember like not seeing like there were fans of Call of Duty back when it was like World War II stuff, but like when Modern Warfare 2 started coming out, like people were behind it. And it was a big fucking deal, and I began to like see this cult following for it, and that I heard everybody talking about it. Like that was what all my friends were playing. Like it used to be Halo, and then it became Call of Duty, and now like it's Overwatch. But I think what Overwatch has done differently is just
that infinite sprint trick.
I think Blizzard has just made it accessible to everybody. It's not just a niche thing. Like it's not this M-rated game that like you're supposed to be like, I don't know, what is it, 17 and up to buy?
Brian.
Well, I mean,
Brian.
It's also not
Did
WoW
you just call Call of Duty a niche game? When Brian's 7 and 8 year olds play Call of Duty.
I know, that's the thing. It's supposed to be niche, but it's not.
It's not supposed to be.
Okay. Shellie, if I may attempt to translate here, I think what Brian is saying is more or less of what he just said, and more so, Overwatch release, it's a Blizzard game. Yeah, Blizzard has the following they have, but it's not everybody, you know what I mean? Because Blizzard games include things like, WoW, Diablo, StarCraft, Heroes of the Storm, stuff that wide ranges of people play, but not everybody plays. On top of that, you have this game as a shooter. Now, a lot more people play shooters, but
because they're easy.
Just think how much more WoW would sell if they made it a shooter.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
Just make everything a shooter. There you go.
And what he's saying is that this is like a fairly accessible to something that it's not engulfed in the.
Look at Splatoon. It's a shooter.
Yeah, no, like
that was a great shooter.
Yeah, you may or may not be saying that ironically, maybe a little of both, but no, because that's how Splatoon won Best Shooter last year. Like, it's a shooter.
George, before you go any further, your mic is like giving off like some mad static every time you speak.
It's weird because I have my speakers set differently so I can play and talk and yeah. How about now?
Okay. It's okay. There's just a wasp next to my ear.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It's still doing it.
Still?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. How about now?
Yeah. Yes. More so. Please excuse us while we experience technical difficulties on the stream. We're just going to talk to you in this nice, smooth, buttery voice.
Breaking news, the Aquaman movie got moved back 3 months. It's going to be released in October of 2018.
I mean, that's fine, I guess.
I mean, I'm fine with it being moved back.
I ain't got time to see all these fucking superhero movies.
Oh, no, I do. I was just saying. I'm fine with it, though. I don't think The Flash is coming out in 2018, though. It depends if they find a director.
It's true. While George is away, I guess. So, while we're on the topic of Overwatch, I have been playing Overwatch. I got it recently. I think I've announced this in the IGN group. Yeah, definitely, because I've asked people what their PSN tags are. Please, comment your PSN tag if you play Overwatch.
Yeah,
that's
y'all hear
fine.
me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, we good?
No wasps.
What'd you do? Now I missed the wasps.
Okay, so under like the settings for the call, when I set my default input device, I can specifically set it to my headset, or I could just set it to default. For whatever reason, setting it specifically to my headset causes problems. So I just set it to default. Which is still my headset, but, you know, less so. Like if I unplug it, it'll auto shift. Auto shift? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying about Overwatch, from what I can tell as like an outsider that's recently come in and like watching this like as a third party for such a long time and not being invested in it at all, Overwatch brought with it in a not unique design, a game design, but it brought with it like a very accessible game design. The powers play like a very key part, and I think the presentation of the game, because it makes every character unique, and they've assigned roles to every character. Like they've forced roles down you, like to the point of dividing each character like in what role suits them best. Like you've got offense, you've got defense, you've got healers and support, and then you've got tanks too. I think that like letting a player know like what role they can take on and how they can experiment with those roles and either make them more offensive or defensive depending on how they play, I think that offers you like much more playability and just customization how you want to play these characters and how you can how it affects the matches themselves, because people can get creative with how they play some people, and I've seen it happen. And then of course they're all unique. It's a diverse cast. I'm sure that appeals to like some audiences that make them want to play the game. But I think diversity is important in this aspect. It boils down to like you're not going to play a game because it's full of diverse cast. You're going to play a game because it's playable. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, George, because I don't know like what the lore or the story of Overwatch is, because the game looks like it has no underlying story. It's just a shooting game.
There's story, but all of its story is based outside of the actual game. It's stuff you pick up on by watching like the animated shorts for each character or group of characters, and just by reading character bios. Which I mean is kind of what you get for something that's multiplayer only. Any lore or pre-existing story has to exist like outside the game, because there's no way to experience that firsthand in game.
And I'm glad you brought up the point that it's multiplayer only. This game does the same thing that Battlefront did, except Battlefront had even Overwatch has some single player modes if you wanted it to. The training, that's it. But this game is infinitely better than Battlefront. But Battlefront is better suited to having a single player campaign because it's Star Wars. They can tell stories with this. Now, Overwatch, you can argue, would be better suited to doing that too, but with the way that they've created these characters and this overall game design, you don't need that. I don't need to know anything about these characters. They're just fun to play as, and their personalities shine through brilliantly, I think, through like the unlockable dialogue, skins, and whatnot that you can get through loot boxes. You learn more about your characters, albeit very subtly, through these things that you unlock. And I think that makes them more interesting because like you don't know everything about them, but like if you unlock like a very unique like victory pose or a taunt, not a taunt, but like a unique voice action or whatnot that like is funny or some shit. I don't know. I think that connects the player to the characters they're playing too. And it just works better in this sense. And I hate to say, like, it sounds weird to say that, like, a game that does everything like that Battlefront does, it sounds weird to say that, like, even though they're kind of the exact same things, they're so totally different. And it all has to do with game design and presentation. And I think that that's why Overwatch kills as a shooter and as a game, and it deserves the Game of the Year. And I'll be honest, I haven't played Uncharted 4, and I'm sure it has its merits. But I think that as far as like this like accumulating this like cult following in such a short amount of time and that has so many people staying behind it, I think that for like against a game like Uncharted 4 that has its niche following, even though it does certainly deserve to be Game of the Year in multiple aspects, I think that Overwatch deserves it more because it's managed to pull people in to a genre or into gaming in general that wouldn't have normally done it just because of how it is and how it plays. And I know, Shellie, you think that Uncharted 4 should have won, and I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Oh, I'm not saying Uncharted 4 should have won.
Really?
No.
I totally expected that to be your argument because from the way we started this. What do you think, George?
Yo.
Like,
what do you think about it?
I fully expected for Uncharted 4 not to win at the VGAs.
Okay, so where do you expect it to win?
Yeah, about almost everywhere else.
You see, that was what I was thinking you were going to say. I really need to get to play it, and it's $40 used at GameStop, so come Christmas time. But after 2.8, that'll be the next game I get.
Hey, it's my birthday. Where's my statue?
What statue?
The statue that we talked about last stream.
The Risei statue.
Yeah,
the statue. Wait till next
Don't
Christmas.
say year. Next Christmas? You mean this Christmas? Okay.
Next Christmas.
Yeah, this Christmas.
Well,
no, this Christmas is already up.
No, it's not.
No, it's not up. It's not the 25th.
December 1st means that it's Christmas.
I mean, maybe to you, but no.
not to everyone else.
It's
Who
Christmas.
follows the calendar.
It's Christmas season. Next Christmas is now in 2017. Anyway, so best game direction, Blizzard for Overwatch. Like we touched on that already. I think that they know how to make a good game. Blizzard definitely has shown that time and time again. And I think the game design and game direction are perfect. Well, not completely perfect. Like obviously nothing's perfect, but I think that it works for what the product that they brought out, and that's why they've gotten such a cult following.
Wait, when did The Witcher 3 come out again? I know it was last year, but when last year?
I think around February.
No, there's no way it was that early because it wouldn't win Best RPG.
It wasn't out long.
Wait,
when it came out.
Is Blood and Wine DLC?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blood and Wine is an expansion.
Never mind. Wait, that shouldn't count.
Yeah, see, no, I felt the same way. It was just like that when KI Season 3 got nominated for Best Fighter. I'm like, what's with all these expansions and what? Expansions and DLC being nominated and getting awards.
That could have went to Xenoverse 2. I'm just playing.
I'm still laughing about that one. That one guy that posted, he was like, Final Fantasy 15 sucks. Time to go back to Xenoverse 2. I was like, dude, you need to reevaluate.
Hey, you haven't played Xenoverse 2.
I would have laughed though if he'd come back and be like, Xenoverse 2 sucks. Back to Final Fantasy 15.
Hell, I just picked up Xenoverse 2 today for like an hour after not playing it for like 3 days.
Okay, so
mainly
I
because
tried to
Madden
watch
pulled me back in.
the trailer a second ago, and
Wait, what?
IGN's native video player wasn't doing the thing. I was trying to look at Death Stranding's new trailer.
We're gonna live react
Look at
to
it on
together.
YouTube.
Well, yeah,
Never
no, that's
watched
what I'm about to do.
IGN.
Look at it on YouTube.
We're gonna live react to it though, George.
Nothing on IGN is good.
Shellie, come on.
Except for their Facebook group. And even that's just, yeah.
Whoa,
Shut
who
up.
is she?
Don't call out the Facebook group. They will block you.
Wait, who was that? What is this?
What is what?
I'm
You're
watching
watching the
the
trailer.
Breath of the Wild trailer.
Tell me if you see Ganon.
Tell me if you see a release date.
You
You
won't.
saw Ganon at E3. And it's March 17th with a rumor of a delay.
I mean, it's gonna be delayed.
It's going to be delayed.
Just like
If there's rumors of a delay, it will be delayed.
just like Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be delayed.
How do you delay this game twice? 2 times.
And it doesn't even have a release date.
To match
I don't know.
your console comes out and it still get delayed again. That makes no sense.
Ask whoever's waiting on Last Guardian.
No one's waiting on Last Guardian. It comes out in a few days.
Ask whoever waited on Last Guardian.
Ask whoever waited on Final Fantasy 15.
I'm not changing my answer, Shelly.
No one's waiting on it.
I was telling my friend,
people already have
my other friend Ryan's birthday's today too, and I was like, "Happy birthday, dude!" Oh, by the way, it's Shelley's birthday, everybody. Clap your hands. He's 24. 3. I was like, shit, I don't know if you're a year older than me or not. You're
He's
half a year older.
4 days older than me.
All right.
But yeah,
Right,
happy
you gotta
birthday,
get the statue too.
Shelley. But yeah,
Wait, where's my?
I was telling Ryan though. I was like, how does it feel to live in a world where Final Fantasy 15 is released now? He's like, it feels like I still don't have a PS4. But I was like, I was being for real though. Like, I thought about it today. I was like, holy shit, that I've been waiting for 10 years now, finally, and it's surreal. And
I can only imagine waiting 10 years for a game.
try 5 years or no.
I've never waited 5 years for a game.
When was Phantom Pain announced, George? Like 2012?
Can we not talk about it?
Yeah, that's true. To me, Phantom Pain was never truly released. I just got a demo.
Okay, at PSX tomorrow.
It's been released. A little fragmented, but it's been released.
Okay, at
9
PSX
hours
tomorrow,
ago, Jamer.
if EA comes out and says,
Oh shit,
We're-
PSX is tomorrow.
we're bringing you
PSX
the game
is
you
tomorrow
love.
because Capcom Cup is today and tomorrow, and they always have Capcom Cup at PSX.
Okay, what were you saying, Shelly?
If EA comes out on stage and says, we're bringing you the game that you've been asking for, we're bringing you Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup 2, I would lose my mind. I'm like, yes, that's what I've been waiting 10 years for.
But that doesn't sound like Sims 5.
Who plays The Sims other than Ari?
I do.
Okay, if I wanted to be a person, I would just go outside.
Otherwise, you're not a person if you don't go outside. Shellie, 2016, folks.
If I wanted to talk to a girl, I'd go talk to a girl.
At work.
At work, yes, at work.
Nowhere else.
Nowhere else. Girls are scary.
You know, like girls I talk to on a daily basis.
At least none.
Too fucking many, actually.
Right. How many girls come into your store?
Not in my store. Oh no, I'm talking about people at my first job.
Oh well, yeah, that would make sense. That seems like a womanly job.
Yes. There's I think, let me count. 3 black dudes that work as DPS. And there's one other white dude that works there, and then there's
they're
me.
Just there for the women.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. Shut up.
They're just there for the women.
No, they're not. Anyway, there's 5 other dudes that work DPS alongside me, or including me. Anyway, back to the VGA. Best art direction, Inside. That makes sense to me.
Oh wait, you skipped best narrative.
Oh, best narrative is Uncharted. Inside is I watched a playthrough of it on Game Grumps, and basically what it is, it's like this has no dialogue, but it's like a stealth game plus a puzzle game.
Sounds puzzle.
And the cool thing about it is that like, even though there's no dialogue in it at all, and it's basically like one giant hallway.
Also, 2013 to answer your question.
Okay.
For fantasy.
I'll accept that.
Yeah, that was only like 2 years.
Yeah.
It's still a long ass time.
Hell, that's
well, it's a gap
shorter than the normal development cycle right now.
Because of the gap between 4.
Well, will we even consider the gap between 4 and 5? Because my understanding was that 4 kind of like shut the door on everything. So were people even really expecting a 5?
Yeah, they were, because they almost immediately came out with Peace Walker.
I mean,
like within the next year, they came out with Peace Walker.
Peace Walker still takes place as like one of the stories involving Big Boss, quote unquote. So, like, for all we know, that could have been their way of giving people a Snake Eater fix. I mean, it wasn't, but still.
It was them trying to take advantage of the Japanese PSP market, and it worked. Because they sure as hell didn't sell a lot of copies of Peace Walker over in the States.
Well, they did, but it wasn't until it came out in HD collections and the Legacy collection.
Exactly.
Vanilla Peace Walker wasn't sold because it's like, bruh, PSP? What? Are you kidding me?
I mean, I had a PSP and I did not get Peace Walker ever. I didn't ever even consider it. I was like, I'm not playing a game on this thing, like for Metal Gear. I could not imagine how bad it would have been.
Proof and point.exe.
But yeah, like what I was saying about Inside, the cool thing about Inside is that like they've programmed like so many different like weird, unique ways that the character dies if you mess up. If you don't do a certain thing in a certain amount of time, sometimes like normally through normal gameplay you would never see this animation, but they programmed in like a shit ton of stuff like that can happen to you, and it was painstaking, obviously, because like these are things that normal players would never see, but they still took the time to do it. And that was the cool thing about Inside. Best performance, Nolan North as Nathan Drake, Uncharted 4. Haven't heard it, but I imagine.
Yeah.
Best independent game, Inside, works because it was a good game. Go watch a playthrough of that. Like, you don't have to watch the Game Grumps playthrough. Like, there's plenty of other ones. Best mobile handheld game, Pokemon Go. And not because of game design, I can guarantee you it's just because of the cultural phenomenon that it became. Because that game is still broken as fuck.
Yeah, you
Less
see
broken.
businesses refuse service to Pokemon trainers.
Yep. But yeah, that we'll
I
get
would
into
almost
that
feel
more.
like I'm worth something if I wasn't refused business because of other reasons.
Don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me.
Oh, well, I needed that one.
This is like that Jewish guilt, except I'm not Jewish. I'm just white.
Was that in Unchained for you?
What?
You said that Jewish guild, and I was like, was that your group in Unchained Key?
No. No.
Uh,
I'm part of the subreddit in Lepardis, actually.
oh, okay.
And I have been. It's actually a very nice group to be in. Lots of good medals. Anyway. Best VR game, Res Infinite. Well, none of us have played any VR game.
I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Yeah, I don't know what Res Infinite is. I'm not bothering with VR. I think it's a waste of my money because for games that are very choppy experiences, it's not an investment I want to make.
I still feel like it's a gimmick, like 3D and motion control.
I don't think it's a gimmick. I just think that it's so experimental at this point. Because I think that they're going to try and make they're going to make big things out of VR, obviously, and they even came up with an article. They were saying video games may not be the future of VR, but because we're still going to push it ahead, but maybe not in that specific direction. But I think that this is a good a time as any to get people out there and experimenting with it. Because if you play games, you enjoy playing games in VR, it'll work and yada yada yada. Sword Art Online.
See, people keep saying that, but then at the same time, I'm like, if you've watched Sword Art Online or even Dot Hack, you also know why this probably isn't the safest idea. Maybe, obviously nothing on, that kind of scale would happen, but still, there's a lot of health issues.
Oh, douchebags would find a way to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some anonymous group.
That's why we have the 2DS. And there's a lot of issues with motion control. That's why all those people who own Wiis have broken TVs.
Well, I know that people are saying that they get a little bit of motion sickness playing VR. I guarantee that I would get it because you're talking about sitting in an elevator in the game after they get off the elevator and their mind thinks that they're still going, but their body isn't actually moving and they're saying oh god, I feel weird. That would kill me. Because I already get dizzy as shit in elevators. And then I'm just being on a roller coaster if I was playing the Until Dawn game, that would kill me. But anyway, best action game is Doom, which I've seen a little bit of Doom, and it looks really fun, but in a niche kind of way, because I was never a Doom kind of guy. And I don't like those over-the-top, gory games or shooters. That's never been my thing. And I think that Doom is just it's like eating a really rich chocolate cake. You enjoy the chocolate, but you don't like how rich it is, and so you have to take it in small doses. That's what I would compare to that kind of genre of game for me. I love playing them sometimes, but only in small increments, and I never, ever invest that heavily into them. Best action-adventure game, Dishonored 2. I guess it's been out long enough for it to have gotten action-adventure. Best RPG, The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine.
Blood and Wine.
I have not played it. Probably won't play it. I've already deleted the game off my PS3 and PS4.
That's a lot of gigs.
Just
it was 49 gigs.
Pronto for soccer.
Best fighting game, Street Fighter V. Best strategy game, Civilization 6. I
Okay,
actually
hold
kind
on,
of want to play that.
Hold on. Can we back up?
We're gonna continue this discussion, George.
We are going to continue this discussion. We're gonna fill everybody else in on what Shellie and I have been talking about. Okay, so contrary to what anybody like viewing has come to understand of me, I'm not particularly happy that Street Fighter V won Best Fighting Game. Because here's the deal.
What were you hoping for?
Hmm.
What were you hoping for?
Honestly, anything. But now, granted, KI Season 3, in my opinion, didn't deserve to be a nominee because it's like, oh, hey, here's the rest of Killer Instinct. But SF5 had a fairly rough release period. Even after giving us the betas, it released with an incomplete roster and patches for days for things such as like net play and the sort. And it took a while before we even got this. It wasn't until we got maybe like before we got the last two characters that we even got the cinematic story mode. And even then, two of the characters were playable but incomplete. And we still had to wait like another 2 months for them. KOF 14, on the other hand, which was another nominee, released complete with a roster of over 50 characters. Or like up to 50 characters or something like that.
Yeah.
Pokken Tournament, I'm kind of gray area about that.
We'll talk about Pokken later in the podcast. I got a topic for it.
Really?
Why?
Because they announced Empoleon today.
Brian, no one cares about Pokken.
But I wanted to talk about it.
You wanted to talk about Empoleon, but we didn't talk about Darkrai or Caesar or Krogunk.
I saw it and I was like, okay, let's talk about Pokken because Pokken's been kind of under the radar.
There's a reason why it's under the radar.
Exactly. I wanted to discuss that.
Well, personally, that's why I feel like I wouldn't expect Pokken to win. But then you leave out VGA's left out games that had come out within the year, like, you know, Guilty Gear XR Revelator or Blaze Blue Central Fiction. Shellie brought up Xenoverse 2, and I was like, well, yeah, don't really consider that. Yeah, he was joking on that one, but let's be honest, by VGA standards, it probably could have been regarded as a fighting game. And while maybe quite not up to the point of being as deserving as SF5, still for SF5 to win over like the obvious competition it had, and for Axis and Arxis to not even get a rep in the nominees is, you know, nothing short of farcical. Farcical? That's the word I'm looking for? Yeah.
How much money do you want to bet that this year the best RPG will be Persona 5?
None.
Oh, God.
Weebs get left in the dust, Brian. As a weeb, I know that.
Okay, well, what do you think would be the best RPG for next year? I know it was only a day after this year's VGA, but still.
If it's not FF15, it's gonna be something that I don't play.
True enough.
It's gonna be one
Maybe it'll be.
Can you imagine if Final Fantasy 15 didn't win next year? Brian, what would you do?
I mean, I wouldn't care. It's
Could
not
you
the first time a
imagine?
game I wanted to win wouldn't.
Could you imagine if the PS4 port of 1.5 or 2.5 made it?
That would be weird. I'll be honest with you, because that means Square would have had to gone back and fixed all those fucking glitches and be like, y'all.
But they won't. They won't. Here's the thing.
They know they will. They will.
And it'll win. And everybody will be in uproar.
They'll fix them, but they'll just make new ones in the process.
I don't think so. They won't optimize it.
They're upscaling them all to 60 frames per second. They have to go in and do something. Because that's the thing I'm worried about. That playing a PS2 game at 60 frames per second, that's going to kick my ass. especially for
You can tell me it's gonna be up to 60 frames per second, but I'm gonna have to have the physical copy sitting. Well, yeah. I'm gonna have to have the actual copy sitting in my PS4 doing the thing to figure out what they do with those 60 frames. Because let's be honest, Brawl runs at 60 frames per second, but we all seen how that looks.
But Brawl's slow as shit, so it doesn't matter.
Case in point, upscaling it to 60 frames a second won't tell me anything until I see. That's the point I was making.
Yeah.
Like for example, Civ 6 got best strategy game, and Fates was a competitor. Granted, I didn't expect Fates to get like a lick of anything. My money would have been more on Awakening.
But best sports racing game was Forza 3.
Wasn't that the Xbox one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 3.
Damn.
Just so you know, Brian, that was the only racing game that came out this year.
Was it really?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering, I was like, wasn't that supposed to be a bad game?
No, I hear Forza Horizon's good. It's the main Forza games that aren't good.
Best multiplayer is Overwatch. I mean, no shit. Most anticipated game is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
See, Nintendo got one. Don't you dare go past this right here. We do not talk about... You can talk about best esports game. Do not talk about the team, the player, or the gamer. I don't care.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody really cares about it, but unless they're a part of it in that community. So I'm going to go ahead and end that segment because overall I think like a lot of the games, like specifically The Last Guardian and Pokemon and Final Fantasy 15, like those just came out too late.
Yo,
they weren't ever contenders.
Infiltration should have got best esports player. I know he at Capcom Cup right now doing his thing. Shouts to Infiltration.
Ooh. I don't know, man. Alright, so that being said and wrapping all that good old Jimmy up, let's go ahead and talk about something that I found in Anime News Network. Ano's Shigeki, is it Shigeki Ano, George?
Evangelion Ano?
Yeah.
Hideaki,
okay. Not Shigeki. His new studio that he has is suing Gainax for about, like, I think, like, how much is it? It was a hefty sum. Like, he's suing them for royalties because he's saying that they're releasing shit and that he should be paid.
Called it, Shellie. Called it.
Wait, what?
When we read the topics before Brian joined the call and I saw that Ano was suing Gainax, I'm like, I bet it's for royalties over, like, either Evangelion or something else he did.
Oh, yeah, it's for Evangelion. And if Anime News Network ever wants to load this page again.
A band recently sued their, like, former record label, or their current record label, over something fairly similar. Think it was Asking Alexandria. Yeah.
For what?
Particularly, I don't remember because I read it, I talked about it with somebody, and then I proceeded to just be like, oh, okay.
Oh, let's move on to the Death Stranding trailer. What are you laughing at?
I'm on Twitter. I was telling George about... I was telling you about one of the guys I listened to on that podcast. And he's an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
So he was on Twitter and says, Uncharted loses and people tell me about Gears 4 not being nominated. Well, I'd rather not be nominated than lose.
That's bad. No, that's worse.
And then the leader of the pod, and then the guy who actually, like, is the host of the podcast. Is like, Smooth, I defend you on a constant basis, but Johnny Cochran couldn't defend the dumb shit you say.
Anyway,
Let me see how Capcom Cup is.
and then pull up the Death Stranding trailer, all of you. We're gonna live react this.
Wait, what are we looking at? Live
What
rec?
good is it
Death
without
Stranding?
faces?
Yeah. And then we're gonna do the Urza and versus Zoro thing. T E.
But
We know who wins, but I want to see it happen.
well, no, I'm like, never mind.
Because we do our own segment. Is that what it is?
Yeah, because watching a death battle would take too long.
Oh no, I'm not gonna watch the
That
whole
and-
the whole thing. I just want to see the fight. Because I want to see the crazy shit that Zoro does. Because you know he does some crazy shit.
Somebody recorded this on a potato.
Alright.
Because I'm watching.
We have to agree which video we're doing here.
Okay, so I'm on the article on Anime News Network for Death Stranding.
Okay, yeah, see, I'm not doing that because.
Okay, yeah, see, I thought you'd go to YouTube like a normal person.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the YouTube player on the Anime News Network. It's the YouTube video.
Okay.
So if you pull it up, it'll be the same fucking thing.
All right.
Alright, we about ready? Everybody get it up?
I'm already like 50 seconds in. Like what?
It's fine.
It doesn't matter. We don't have to be in sync.
I've already seen I've seen like 3 minutes of the trailer already anyway.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll just live react to what I see. I see dead crabs. Giant crab battle.
Crabby.
More crabs.
Got
More
crab
crabs. Oh my god, it's fucking hot. Holy shit.
George, what do you see?
I saw a dead baby.
Okay.
I see this guy in a tunnel.
That's Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. I forget how he looks. I really do.
Did you guys hear about what Guillermo del Toro told Konami?
What do you say?
He told him to fuck off.
When?
Yesterday.
Why did he
At the
tell him to
awards?
fuck off?
Don't you remember? Kojima.
Yeah, I know that
He
they
wasn't
worked
allowed
together.
to show up
Yeah, they
last
were
year.
going to work together, and then Konami canceled the game.
Canceled Silent Hills and then like forbade
After-
Kojima from showing up to the Game Awards.
After everyone had downloaded PT, and everyone was just raving about it. Why would you do that?
And then they ripped PT from the store too. People have been trying to sell their PS4s with PT installed for like high amounts of money, a la the Flappy Bird thing.
Okay, this guy's like drowning. I don't know why. He has a baby inside a container. What the fuck is this game?
I have no clue.
Norm Reedus and the Funky Fetus.
I bet it's Glenn's baby.
Glenn's dad.
Stop that.
The baby's winking at me.
Then there's like the guy from Star Wars and Hannibal in this too, and
Yeah.
Is it the guy who plays Hannibal?
Yeah. And,
cool.
I mean, you'll know it's him.
Face.
Oh, hey, it's Les Enfants Terribles. Oh,
I swear to
sorry.
God, if he
Never mind. There's 5 of them.
I like this funky music that's playing.
I hope that in this game you're just a baby.
You're just playing as a baby in a tube. It's just a movie.
Well, that's the end of the trailer. Guys, I have no clue.
Oh,
what
hey,
that
it's Hannibal.
about. Yeah. I have no clue what that trailer's about.
It's about the game that's not Metal Gear, but it's still Metal Gear.
Something centered around the concept of like stick and rope. Art director Yoji Shinkawa, let's go. You know all that really cool stylized art that's on the cover of Metal Gear games? It's your boy Shinkawa right there. I love his art. I really
Alright,
do.
that's the end of the trailer. Alright, well...
I guess my dad's gonna make pecan cookies.
Ooh! Well, that was an interesting trailer. Oh, I have to give it to him. I do like the atmosphere that they're saying, that they're setting, though. Because I think... This is going to be a stealth game.
Hold on. I'll be
so?
back.
I think so, yeah. Go ahead, Shellie.
Something
I do
like
think that this will probably be in the vein of Metal Gear. I think Kojima's probably going to wean us off of Metal Gear, but he's not going to do it like cold turkey.
I don't know. He was pretty tired of it.
Yeah, like I just mean mechanics wise, but like it'll be something completely different in a different universe. But I think it would be spiritual successor, so to say.
I don't know. I kill for a game with David Hayter in it again. That's not Overwatch.
Wait, what does he do in Overwatch?
Let me make sure I'm right on this and that whoever told me wasn't BSing me.
Because I had heard something to that effect at one point, but I don't know if I was right or not.
Okay, yeah, he's not in there. I don't know who told me
Okay.
he was.
Oh hey, Team 4-Star just streamed Kingdom Hearts 2 again.
Oh no. Wait. Yeah, okay, yeah, nah. It definitely was not him. Whoever that was did a nice. Oh. That being said, David Hayter isn't Bloodstained. That's cool.
Ha!
I like the soundtrack.
Soundtrack to what?
15. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Bro, I could have parked my car here.
Yeah, I know, right? You're gonna love that car eventually because, like, I'm already kind of dependent on it. The only thing I'm not doing as much as I should be doing, I think, is camping in the wild. I keep going to outposts to get that experience bonus.
You know, I hear a lot of beeping, and I keep thinking that maybe it's the game, but I think that might be our smoke alarm.
I think that's your smoke alarm.
Rip, let me make sure the house is still intact.
Is that beeping on your end, Shelly?
What beeping?
Never mind. George is going to go see if it's a smoke alarm in his house that's going off. Because he was hearing beeping.
Oh, that was probably the alarm on my house.
Dude, he went out to see if it was him.
No, my dad set the alarm.
What?
He said that it was his dad at his house.
Oh, okay.
He set the alarm in his house. But yeah, like the soundtrack is amazing in 15. Like the dungeon theme, when you hear that, you're gonna love it. Because I already like the mob battles, like the main mob battle theme.
Crab battle.
What's the next topic? I guess let's go ahead and do a Pokemon update. How far are you in Pokemon, George?
Team Skull Base.
I think I just beat the electric gym, or not a gym trial, because I'm trying to figure out where I can evolve my Charjabug, and I don't know exactly where, but I know it has to be by an electric thing or something.
Oh, that's how that works.
Yeah, because I had to look it up because I was like, it's level 35. It should have evolved by now. Not like the Ghost Sandcastle that evolves at level 42. I've got this Pokemon Golisopod that evolved from like a Wimpod.
I want
A Wimpid.
those so bad, but apparently catching Wimpod is as much of a chore as it is.
It's
Hot
on
button.
it's
I
on
know
the
where
second
it
island, and you just have to. It's not hard at all. I just go in the water to like go around it and then catch it by surprise. It's like catching Piglet in Kingdom Hearts. You have to go around to catch him off guard, and you can't go in from the front, or else he'll run away.
Rip.
Yeah, but Wimpod's or not Wimpod, Steve Irwin, as I've named him. His ability is emergency exit. So basically, when its HP is half or less, it swaps out with another Pokemon automatically. Which is extremely useful in my opinion.
I found out today that it overwrites Spirit Shackle.
Wait, what is Spirit Shackle?
Spirit Shackle is a ghost type move where when you hit your opponent, it prevents them from escaping. But if you hit your opponent with Spirit Shackle and it triggers emergency exit will override Spirit Shackle, which means it also does the same to Mean Look, Shadow Tag, Arena Trap.
Alright, well, you guys ready to do this death battle reaction? Because honestly, like, I was going to talk about Pokemon a little bit more, but I'm getting kind of distracted now because I'm seeing these thumbnails.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, so click the video.
Wait. Did you send us the video? Or do I have to look it up?
You the link. Yeah, let me send you the link right before the fight's about to start. That'll be easier. That way we don't have to look for it on our own. Okay, give me a second.
On the bright side, the Naruto anime is starting to do some interesting stuff.
Yeah, what are they doing? I haven't been paying attention to that news lately.
Like, they finally entered into, like, doing the last stuff, but I'd probably say they're, like, 6 months out from where the last was.
After or before?
Before.
Okay.
Because it's obvious that Naruto and Hinata aren't a couple yet.
I just want to know, like, how fast it took them to actually get married and how long they dated.
I don't know, but it's like a Sasuke story right now.
Okay.
So it's interesting.
All right. Well, I'm sending the link now, and it's right before the actual fight, and we'll just get to see the end of it because I don't know how I know how it ends up, but we'll see.
Dino
George?
Spumoni.
Brian, why is this taking
Send me the
so
vibe,
long?
bro.
Go. There's the link.
Oh heavens, no.
Yeah, it's three. It's oh god, what models did they steal from?
No, not that. I
Wait,
opened
did we
it up
start
in
it
the
already?
chat instead of like on YouTube.
Yeah, it was weird. It opened up in the chat. Wait, so did we start?
Yes, I said go.
Oh, okay. Wait, where is everyone at?
God, I tried my hardest. I saved it at the URL time.
Oh, well, that's not what happened. It started me off at the beginning.
Yeah, I heard
Damn,
the
I
intro
said
on his.
Okay, because I copied the YouTube video at the current time.
I don't think that's how it
I was
works.
hoping that. Yes, it does. If you right-click
that's
the
what it's
video, it copies.
That's what it's
Anyway.
supposed to do, but
Things can go wrong.
Right,
I'm at
just post the
17.
minute mark.
11:17. That's the timestamp. That's
well,
where I'm
let
at.
me pause while I watch this. Also, there's a lot of streaming going on at the house. That's why it's been hard to watch anything. So,
No, you're
please
fine.
understand.
All right. So, 1, 2, 3,
Go.
start.
I told you I'm busy. What? Well, I guess we're doing this now.
It's weird hearing them both in English.
Whatever.
So this is death battle, right?
Apologies to the listeners if
Like one has to kill the other one, right?
Yes.
So, Urza would win.
No, she'd lose because she doesn't kill anybody.
Well, Zoro would lose because he doesn't kill women, nor will he cut women.
yeah. Well, apologies to the listeners. I would like screen share this as I'm watching it, but
We don't want to get flagged.
I'm pretty sure everything would like fail
Also,
with the way internet's going on.
Pretty sure you guys can just follow us from the timestamp. When we said 11:17, you could just watch it with us at that point. Even if you're not listening to us live, I guess. Oh, he's on the ground and he's bloodied, and she's naked. They're playing.
They're playing the music.
Yeah. Did she just Sailor Moon it?
Yes, she just Sailor Mooned. Stop talking about your
Oh, God.
friends. We get it. It's fairy tale.
For that,
I haven't seen Zoro do Ashura in forever.
Yeah, we haven't seen that in forever. I imagine that
You see
whenever
that
we get that Zoro fight against someone like
Oh,
level-
Jesus
oh my
Christ!
god.
what is that?
Not even a second thought.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I imagine that we'll get to see that whenever Zoro takes on someone like commander level.
Oh, hey, here's the science.
Oh, there was more?
Yeah.
Oh, I just clicked off
They
after
do
KO.
the research before, then they fight, and then they explain. Because sometimes it's never enough. A lot of the times it's never enough.
It's always enough.
Okay, because she's self-taught. That's okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, let's completely ignore everything else that they set up to that point and emphasize for the audience the fact that she was self-taught.
I mean, that makes sense to me, honestly. What's the next one they're doing?
Let's leave out the fact that the guy cuts with the striking force of a nuke
Yes, that's true.
and just be like, well, I mean, she's
Decimates
self-taught,
mountains.
so, you know, that's why she was going
Hey,
to lose.
he's still no Hawkeye Mihawk.
Yeah, Hawkeye could probably split the planet in two if he wanted to. He's the next Whitebeard.
Oh wait, what was the next battle?
Deadpool and someone.
Boring.
No, it's just Deadpool. That's the only one they sold. There's a video thumbnail at the end that says Dora versus Superman Death Battle Cast.
Dora wins.
Because Soups can't kill a kid.
Well, no, she's got the map
Yeah. And Swiper.
and the backpack.
And Tico the squirrel.
Tico the squirrel. And Benny the bull.
Oh yeah.
And Lisa the lizard.
And Diego.
And yet brought her fam in there.
Her family that just lets her go off anywhere. Good. Oh god, Mexico.
I hear a cat.
It's the side mission. Although, I am wondering where Kate Sith is. I haven't seen her all day.
Anyway, I was just getting a text from my mom saying I might actually have to work tomorrow.
Well, yeah, you gotta work tomorrow.
No, I had all weekend off, but she's sick, so I might have to go into the first store.
So, are you only off the weekends?
No, it just depends. I work weekends too. It just depends.
That's always a great schedule.
Yeah, inconsistent hours, right? I know. I keep saying Jesus. Well, DBZ Super announced their dub. Have we looked at the casting? Because apparently there were some changes made. I don't know. I watched their
I mean, I don't care who's. The only people I need to stay the same are Goku and Vegeta. That's it. And Piccolo.
and Hercule.
Yeah, sure, and Hercule.
And Hercule. That's what I thought. I was listening to
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan. Ow! I just leaned my head back and hit my head. No, I was listening to the dub, on that Majin Buu and Hercule segment that they released. It was pretty good. But they said Hercule's name is Hercule and not Mr. Satan, which they've called him Mr. Satan in the movies, so that made no sense to me.
His name.
It's because they call him Hercule in the series.
But in the movies, in the English dub of the movies, they call him Mr. Satan.
Because they have the liberty to do that in the movies because they're not broadcast on television. Keep up.
Inconsistent ass motherfuckers.
No, I mean his name's just Hercule so that they don't say Satan all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Because America's sensitive.
No, we're not.
We like to think we are.
We are. Ooh, a new comic got killed chapter of the 2 left.
Dude, a comic got killed is done.
It is done. It's got 1 more chapter. Shit, like, I'm excited for the Super Dub. I think I'll give it a try after 2 months or so. The bullshit movies.
It'll be the same thing that I did for Super. I'll watch the dub when that tournament arc starts.
Yeah, that's what I think. So, once they're done with the first 2 movies. Well, we already talked about Pokken.
That takes like 30 episodes.
Do you want to say anything else on Pokken, George? Because we've already talked about what I was thinking, briefly. It's just that it's been under the radar, but yet they're still releasing updates for it, like it's going strong.
News on what now?
We're talking about Pokken, because the Wii U's done, but they're still releasing character updates, like it's going strong, and I'm wondering if they're going to bring it to the Switch.
Well,
I feel reason for them not to.
Well, none of those characters are even on the Wii U version.
Wait, what version are they on?
The arcade version.
You're fucking kidding me.
Brian, you're acting like the Wii U matters. The Wii
George,
U doesn't
That's why I'm
matter.
like,
The Wii U
no,
is
that's why.
dead.
That's why when you said, "Yeah, Empoleon's gonna be in Pokken," I'm like, okay, well, they added Darkrai.
I didn't even know there was an arcade version.
To the arcade
Brian,
mode.
the arcade version is what came out first.
Are you serious?
That's why I said Pokken was going
People
to
were
fail.
scared that we weren't going to get it. Yeah, people were scared we weren't going to get it for the Wii U because it didn't have a strong arcade presence initially. And eventually people started playing it, and then we got it on the Wii U anyway.
Well, I mean, shit, we're going to get Duodecim, or no, Dissidia again for the PS4. You know that's happening as soon as they announce all the characters.
I mean, I know what that got to do with the price of tea in China, but
But, yeah, anyway. Pokken, okay, that clears up my question then, because I was wondering, why is this game getting so much updates? The Wii U is dead in the ground. They're not continuing it. They're not giving it any more support. They're porting all of the important games over to the Switch.
I don't know, bro. We still got games coming out.
It's dead. I was actually talking to a friend of mine down in Mobile about her boyfriend's about to get her what was it? Anyway, it was some kind of game or whatever. A 3DS. It was a 3DS. She's getting a 3DS, but she's like, I'm mad because no one told me that the Wii U was going to end so soon and that I'd have to buy a $350 console for the Switch to get all the games that I want to play again. She was mad because the Wii U's a failure. I was like, yeah, I could have told you that.
Games and money.
But,
I went into GameStop today.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, boy, where are all the Wii U games? Oh, in the back where they should be.
Why you gotta hate like that?
I mean, that's where they should be, in the back.
Brian, you were just doing it.
I know. I just wanted to put the shoe on the other foot.
The stuff that's going to sell you the least, that should be in the back.
No one's buying it. There's no reason to buy it anymore. They're making a new console. Everybody's saving money now.
My little cousin was talking about the Switch. She was like, "It's going to be the best thing."
What did you say to your little cousin? How old is your little cousin, first off?
7.
How old did what did you say to your 7-year-old cousin about the Nintendo Switch, Shelly?
I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
I want to know.
And then she was
What did
talking
you say to him, though?
No, this is a girl.
Oh, what did you say to her then, Shelly?
Oh, she kept saying she was gonna give her Wii U away to someone so that she can get a Switch for Christmas or something. I was like, we don't know when the Switch is coming out.
March of next year.
Okay, March of next year, but we still don't know when it's coming out.
March 17th.
Wait, the same day as what?
No, it's the same month as Kingdom Hearts collection comes out, and a few other things actually. March is the same month that not Uncharted, fucking Mass Effect is coming. Mass Effect Andromeda is supposed to come out.
Uncharted 5.
Uncharted Andromeda. Uncharted Andromeda.
Well, actually, yeah, that's probably a very real release date for that DLC for Uncharted. Unless that's coming out this year, which I don't think it is.
I doubt it would. They ain't got time.
I mean, it's just story DLC. So it'd probably only be about 2 to 3 hours long. Because it's supposed to be about Sam.
Is it about how Sam fucks Chloe?
What? No.
Because I would love to see Chloe.
Chloe wasn't in Uncharted 4. She was mentioned for like a second.
Jesus, Brian.
I know, but I want to see Chloe.
I know. I wanted to see Chloe. I wanted to see Chloe in HD, glorious 1080p HD.
I wanted to see Chloe climb up that ladder again and make jokes about her butt.
Snake Eater.
I know, right?
Brian, all you have to do is buy Uncharted 4, then you can play Crash Bandicoot.
I don't want to play Crash Bandicoot. I'm not interested in that series.
Yo, why is fishing so good in this game?
I don't like it. I know, like that was the one thing I was like, everything else is so good, but why fishing? Why fishing?
Not even so much that it's bad, but goodness, is it like a lot to do?
Isn't fishing a very popular profession in Japan?
Yeah, because it's a fishing nation island.
Well, then there you go.
They live off of seafood and rice.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, everybody in my party is talking mess about me, and it's like, look, I just want to catch this fish so I can feed this cat because the cat is cute and needs to
Okay,
be
I just
fed.
want to be the best there ever was. Yep, no,
but like,
on second thought, I want to be a hero.
But yeah, don't fuck with those fish when they like start tugging on that line, George, because they will fuck your line up.
I know. Got one.
Okay, cool. A minute. It took me like 4 minutes to actually get a bite. Or make them bite. And then
Don't
they
let
broke
the
my
line break
line.
when the tension meter starts breaking red. Stop reeling and give it some slack. Okay.
And then reel her, give her some slack, and then reel her in, give her some slack. I fucking love that movie.
I'm boned dry.
What is that? What are you talking? What are you thinking about? I'm thinking about Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about DBZ Bridge. Because that last episode just killed me.
Woo! I did it. I got it.
See, I'm bust on the first time because the game didn't give me the hint that it gave you immediately. It just didn't tell me anything for a second and then let me lose.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm on IGN right now looking at the top upcoming games. What is Super Mario Run?
It's the
That's
mobile game.
That's that iOS Mario game. That one.
It's a mobile game that they like. We never talked about Super Mario. It's basically like it's a premium mobile game. They released like 3 different levels of the 3 different modes, and it's like a free trial thing. But then after you like finish those, they're like, "Hey, give us $10, and we'll have a fully fledged game for you." And people they're happy because they're like, finally a mobile game that they like have the balls to say it's premium. Let's fucking do it, like Square Enix does, where they just release like old games that have been ported to the mobile game genre.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I'm
They've
upset
optimized
because
it.
it's like
yeah, I don't want to play that.
I mean, I don't want to
I'm
play it
upset
either, but
because
shit.
I saw like early demo of it, and it leaves a lot to be desired because he's running, but it's like auto or whatever, and then you just fool with when he jumps or whatever.
Oh, is that Power Rangers game supposed to come out in January?
Kills the difficulty in like actually playing, and I don't know.
Have you guys seen
Have
that
you guys-
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game that they were making?
No.
Yeah, you don't want to see that trailer.
Is it for the new movie that's coming out?
No. It's very clearly like an old one. And I was like, oh, okay, well, they can do something cool, and they can have some nice graphics. And no, it's the complete opposite of that. It is made for the cheapest of cheap.
Dude, have you guys seen My Romantic Teen Comedy Snafu? Like, go watch that anime. It's really good. Coming out of this are fucking hilarious.
No.
Hold on. Yeah, go watch it, Shellie. It's good. Hold on. There you go. Merry Christmas, guys. The last thing on the topics list is our matchup, George.
Ah, sweet.
You want to go ahead and do that? And then we'll send off, and then I can play 15 to my heart's content.
Well, I'm doing that right now.
Is that an actual line from it?
No, it's not.
Brian, if it was, that'd just be amazing.
But she is that, like, she's got the hots for him like that. He's so cynical. Like, I love him. He's he's one of my favorite main characters of all time. He thinks about everything super rationally, and he's like, why the fuck would I do all this? All this childish bullshit is stupid. And he, like, deconstructs the high school anime genre, like, one,
my God.
like,
Is
line.
he like one of those people who like have to watch a TV show or a movie and just think rationally and just take all the fun out of it?
No, he's not taking the fun out of it. He's making it funnier. Because he's like, why the fuck are you acting like this? This is stupid. I really think you'd like him, Shellie, because he reminds me of you,
would.
kind of.
Because I do that shit.
Yeah, like, he reminds me of you a lot.
Oh my God, is he one of those people? That's totally me.
I watch the first season, or like, watch the first few episodes. Like, he's really the heart of the series. Like, the romance aspect is kind of good, but his reactions to everything.
My car.
Okay. Are we ready to do our matchup?
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna
Because I want to go eat my food.
I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick and probably look for my cat in the process.
Alright, well, I'll go ahead and use my bathroom, too. Shellie, you take control of the podcast.
All right, yes.
Okay. No,
You guys gone yet?
not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, since I have control of the podcast, we're going to talk about what I want to talk about. And what I want to talk about is some Young Justice Season 3. Now, for Young Justice Season 3, what do I want to see? I want to see a build-up to Darkseid. I want to see some Teen Titans. I don't want to see Damian. I want to see Damian Wayne. We don't need to see that. I don't want to see that at all. I get enough of him in the movies. I get sick of Damian Wayne. I would love to see a much more developed.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, I was talking about stuff.
What are you talking about?
It's something I wanted to talk about.
What you talking about?
And what I wanted to talk about was some Young Justice Season 3.
Young Justice Season 3 is going to be good.
Hey, we don't know that. Don't make assumptions.
I mean, I'm making assumptions because it's the
It's going
same
to be
exact
amazing.
people. That's the worst thing ever!
I would say I wanted to see some Teen Titans. I don't want to see Damian Wayne. I get enough of him in the movies.
We should see Terra.
I wouldn't mind seeing Terra. I need some Static Shock. I need some more Static Shock in there. Also, I want like a full arc of Granny goodness.
A full arc.
Yeah,
An arc.
Just a
Not
full
just
arc
an
of
episode. Not just an episode of Granny Goodness.
No, just a full arc.
Voiced by Paula Dean.
Yes.
Or Jane Seymour.
No, it has to be Paula Dean, because Paula Dean looks like Granny goodness.
You mean Granny Goodness is Paula Dean?
Whoever named her Granny Goodness was just, he was high, and it was the greatest thing he ever thought of in life. Oh wait, no, that was probably Jack Kirby. I don't even know why I said that.
I like this music that's going on. The soundtrack reminds me so much of Final Fantasy VIII. I love it. How's Supergirl going?
Supergirl's really good this season.
Isn't Arrow and Flashback one too?
Yeah. Well,
I have.
Supergirl just had their mid-season finale before the crossover happened, so Supergirl won't come on next week. But Flash, Arrow, and Legend of Tomorrow have their mid-season finales next week. But all this week was the crossover. The crossover was amazing.
Yeah, I just haven't been keeping up with it since I left you guys.
Yo,
What's up?
Because, like, all this season, people kept saying, man, Flashpoint didn't really do anything. And more, like, throughout the Flash, we kept getting, like, little inklings of what Flashpoint did. And then Flashpoint, like, really culminated in this crossover.
Where you got to see the scope of why Barry fucked up.
Okay, Barry fucked up so bad, aliens came to try and take him away.
Because he fucked up the timeline.
Yeah, like, they had a truce or something, that they would leave the planet or something, and Barry broke the truce by causing a flashpoint.
Ha!
And we're like, Barry, no!
Okay, George, you ready?
I love those memes of the teacup that Jay Garrick's holding. It's like, pretend this cracked teacup is a timeline. A timeline? Can I fuck it? No, you can't fuck it. I'm a fuck it.
Is George not back?
I don't know. I thought he was.
He came back! George! George! Dun, 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 dun.
Hold on.
Well, guess it's just me on the podcast now. All alone.
Because these memes be funny as shit. If I can just find one that I'm looking for.
me like another second.
Yeah.
So he's here.
He just wasn't answering. It's nice to know how much we mean to you, George.
Final Fantasy 15 becomes the fastest-selling title in the series history.
I keep checking to see if
One day we will do this matchup between, well, I'll tell you in a second, folks.
Hey, Brian, you remember season 2 of The Flash when everyone kept talking about Patty?
Yeah?
No, you don't.
No?
I was sending you the. Hold on. You're gonna love this. Damn it. There you go.
Oh, God.
Everyone was like, "Damn!"
That's actually her?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
No, like, we all saw her in the past. We were like, wait a minute. Dude, her ass is fat as fuck. And then everyone kept going, Patty has a fatty.
Oh, my God. The things comic book fans can do. I love fighting with a gun in this game.
You're fighting with a gun in there?
Yeah. You
What's
can
so
equip
final
every
and-
weapon in the game.
What's so final and fantasy about that?
I mean, it's a modern Final Fantasy, bro. I don't know what to tell you. They use guns here. They shoot bitches. They've been using guns in Final Fantasy since, Jesus. Since 6. Deck weapons, which is basically what they have here.
okay. Hey,
Is George finally back?
yeah.
Is Shellie gone now?
Yes. Oh my god, I'll never find this meme, and I love this meme so much. It's killing me that I can't find it.
All right, George.
Yeah.
We ready? Finally?
Yeah.
Okay. So, announce your character. Or our matchup of the week.
The young god, Rock Lee.
Are we talking pre or post time skip?
Obvious.
I mean, both of them lit, but we'll go pre.
Okay.
That.
I
You just depowered your character.
pre time skip's better. Don't deny it.
Oh, no. Free
mean-
time skip is better, but you still depowered your character.
But
I'll go pre.
I raised your rock. I'm gonna pre.
But
Sorry, I just stole a Game Grumps joke.
well, go ahead and announce your character first.
Okay, well, I raised your pre-time skip Rock Lee with my Frieza arc Krillin.
Like you picked the weakest version of Rock Lee, and you picked like the strongest version of Krillin. You didn't even go Dragon Ball Krillin.
I honestly know nothing about Dragon Ball Krillin. That's why I didn't do it. I thought about it.
It's pretty much the same Krillin, except without the unlocked potential.
I mean, if you gonna pick the strongest iteration of yours, then I gotta bump up the post then.
That's fine. Your Rock Lee the only difference is that he can unlock like I think 2 more gates to the 6th gate.
No, he can go up to the 7th post time skip. He just couldn't do the 8th.
Well, we all know what Krillin can do. Fly. I think honestly that Krillin would win because it's a matter of him outspeeding Lee in the air.
Because it was the character you picked?
No. See,
That's exactly what happened.
yes,
That's
that's
exactly
what happened. Yes,
Yeah.
I think that Krillin would win.
See, Shellie picked cars. Shellie was unbiased.
I'm unbiased too. But I think Krillin would win because he can outmaneuver Lee in the air. Because at that point, he can outspeed second form Frieza when he was dodging around those rocks because of his unlocked potential. And Lee is like, do we have an actual measure of how fast Lee is? What he could accomplish after like a few gates? Because I'm thinking like Gaara versus Lee, like speed, like that is like the basic amount. Because I feel like at that point, like he'd just go like the 3rd gate easy.
Well, I mean,
And not have to sweat it.
Okay, see, here's the funny thing about that.
I could give you an estimate of how fast he is if I was permitted to do research, but you wanted to do this strictly on the basis that we not do research. So,
No, it's fine. That's what I say. If we announce the characters we go do beforehand, you can do all the research you want.
that makes no...
But for the mystery ones, no, George. See,
That's inconsistent
if you know
with
who
the way you planned this.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so what did you think this is going to be?
There was no what I thought this was going to be. This was what you said.
See, what I was imagining, maybe I just didn't put it across clearly. And I'm sorry, folks at home. Like we're still getting through this. This is me being dumb. That when we did mystery rounds, if we had a character that we'd keep to ourselves, that would be the one where we don't have any research. We just pick a character and we just go at it at random, and it'll be done faster. The ones that we reveal to each other ahead of time, like when we pick a character, we give like each other like a week or how many days to do research, and then that's the one that would be a little bit more in depth, and we'd spend a lot more time on because we would know like each character's weaknesses and strengths.
There was no means of differentiating like the two when we last talked about it.
That may very well be the case. In fact, it is the case.
I was going to say it is. Go back a couple podcasts and go back
We'll
to
make
the
this-
last podcast.
Okay, we'll make
Got
this a quick one
receipts.
then. So yeah, my argument is that Krillin can not outspeed Lee when he's in the 8th gates, but Lee cannot reach Krillin because Krillin can just simply ascend, and Lee can't walk on the air. He can only jump a certain height. After that, he's done. He's Dunyan rings. So I think that once Krillin has the height advantage, he'd be able to use any kind of blast he wanted to, and Lee could dodge them, obviously, initially. But I think that eventually, like Krillin could like outmaneuver Lee in the air, and he could catch him off guard, or he could like blast a certain area, and maybe like before Lee can react. Like if Lee was in midair and couldn't dodge, he could like fuck up like a mountain or a plateau or something and like cause a lot of debris and then mess Lee up and make him lose his footing. Because there's no way that a Destructo Disc would be able to even reach Lee because it's so fucking slow to begin with. Unless he hit him
Slow.
almost every main villain can either tank it or dodge it.
Brian, that's because the main villains are so OP. Krillin's
But
just a
Lee-
human. They're both humans.
I know, but Lee can
In fact, Krillin's the strongest human.
But I thought you said Tien was the strongest human. You
It's
hypocrite.
debatable between he and Tien.
I mean, we all want Tien to be the strongest human, but
But Tien's
they
irrelevant.
they gon' they gonna tell Toriyama to write it some type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but yeah, I think that Lee would be able to dodge a destructive disc, like no matter what happened, because he's just They both may be human, but Krillin he's barely broken through his limits with his unlocked potential. Jesus Christ, who's spamming me with shit? My iPad was going off like crazy. But I think that I don't really know how to describe like how Krillin would win in this situation, because like I know like how he could like be on the road to winning, but like I don't know what the final blow would be, because in my mind it would come down to a war of attrition. To be honest, I think that Lee could easily land a decisive blow with anything, like a kick to the back of the head or a punch if he could reach Krillin. But that would also rely on Lee going like third or fourth gate immediately, and then comparing that to how strong Krillin can like take a hit. Because let's see, Krillin can't go toe to toe with Goku at full strength, obviously. Maybe base form for a little bit.
No.
No, at that point, no, he wouldn't be able to, because Goku had trained at 100 times gravity. Shit. This is really hard.
See, the only person you could base Krillin with around that time is Gohan. The 5-year-old.
Gohan's weak as shit in that time, though. Gohan lost every fight he had on Namek.
Yeah, he was 5.
I know, but he was also weak as shit during that time. Technically, Krillin lost every fight he was on at Namek, too.
I mean,
Yeah, he was a human.
I mean, he died.
Yeah, but he really couldn't help that
That's
one.
the ultimate losing.
He couldn't help
Shellie.
dying, though, because he got trapped in place. What's your argument, George? What do you think would happen? Because honestly, I'm inclined to change my. I'm inclined to say that Lee would win now, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, the more I like, Lee, Krillin could get out of the way, but he can't land a decisive blow because Lee's too fucking fast.
Yeah.
And
Okay, you're comparing Lee's speeds to Naruto speeds. You're not comparing Lee's speeds to Dragon Ball Z speeds.
well, like Krillin can reach like Mach 5, I think, at max, can he?
Dude, I don't know how fast they go.
Because
How, Sway?
they can cover like a sizable amount of distance within minutes, but
Like
I don't think
the
maybe
amount,
Mach
the
2.
amount of power level being bullshit.
That's true too. But like, I'd say they at least travel at Mach 2, like generally when they fly.
I'm not even talking about when they fly. I'm just talking about how fast they fight.
Okay. DBZ speeds are recognizably quick, even compared to some of the fastest characters in Naruto, who don't use teleportation or space-time. So, leaving people like, Minato the second, Kakashi, leaving them out of the equation. DBZ speeds are relatively fast in comparison. However, Krillin as a character, while we see him hold his own in a fair number of fights, he's never
not a
really
fast character.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, compared to those guys.
Krillin always plays defensively too.
But that's like that's like comparing Lee to Sasuke and Naruto.
Yeah, but I have no doubt that Lee could body Sasuke and Naruto.
I have
at a
every
certain
doubt
point.
that Lee could not body Sasuke and Naruto.
Wait, hold on, because double negatives.
Lee could body Sasuke, not
Reword
No,
that.
he could not.
He said, I
Three-
have every doubt that he could not. And it's like, what?
pre-Mangekyo Sasuke. He could
No.
body.
No. We're not doing pre. No.
It's not pre anymore.
If you want to use Lee that can go 7 gates, Lee was able to go 7 gates during the the fourth Great Ninja War. That's the version of Sasuke we have to use. You may as well just use the complete version of Sasuke.
Okay, yeah, no, there's no way. He
You may
wouldn't
use
even
the
touch him.
complete version of Naruto. He couldn't even. He probably couldn't even touch Naruto. Just basic.
I mean, he's got plot armor, of course.
QB clone.
He wouldn't be able to touch Sasuke basically because of Susanoo.
He's also got plot armor. Sasuke's the main character. Didn't you know?
And to be completely honest, I don't think that he could touch Neji.
Okay.
He could touch Neji probably pre-time skip when he did it, but after the time skip, I don't think he could touch Neji.
Okay. Outside of boosting up your dead boy. Against Krillin, though.
I think Lee would win now.
Yeah.
Because as fast as he would be in the 5th or 6th gates, I think that he would be able to outspeed Krillin because the force behind his kicks at that point, because Lee doesn't because Krillin and most of the DBZ fights in general, it's just them blitzing and exchanging punches that don't really have a lot of force behind them. Every kick and every punch that Lee throws when he's in the 8th gates has to have weight behind it because he can't stay like that forever. He doesn't have the luxury of blitzing and just like fisticuffs. He puts weight behind each of his hits.
I'll take it a step further. Krillin, while not being seen as being able to move at those relatively quick speeds in DBZ, has at least proven the ability to follow along with fights that move at those speeds. However, even if for whatever reason he is able to follow Lee's speed while not physically being able to match it, Drunken Fist Lee moves in a manner that's...
Don't bring up Drunken Fist Lee because Drunken Fist Lee is not coming back.
You can't bring up Drunken Fist Lee because there's no way he'd be able to get drunk in that fight. Lee wouldn't, unless Lee knowingly brought in a couple of...
lost to Kimimaru.
And
they brought it back in the films.
That was bullshit, and you know it.
But it happened.
It did happen, but it shouldn't have happened by any means. It was so contrived. But Lee will never drunk
No, back up, because you're gonna overwrite everything we talked about in the last podcast. The fact of the matter isn't whether he will do it or not. It is a tool that is available in his arsenal.
But would he
managed
use
to
it?
give Law the edge. In the part of how you managed to give Law the edge in his fight against Ultimate Cars was by a very specific set of instructions that if he was able to do, he would be able to best Cars. Whether he had the capacity to, or whether he was going to implement them all in a fight against anybody in One Piece, was completely out of the realm of possibility. But had he have been able to do that against Cars, that would have given him the edge. Whether he ends
But
up
it's like
doing
when we're
it or
talking
not,
about the
rest
death.
of the continuity is irrelevant. It's a tool in his arsenal.
But it's like when we were talking about in the death battle between Zoro and Urza. Like, Zoro, as a character, wouldn't have actually killed Urza. But Lee would never... Lee would never actually intentionally bring a cup of sake with him because he doesn't drink. Every time he's gotten drunk, it's been on accident. He's never willingly put it into his mouth.
So if Krillin just decided to fly high up in the air and just use the same thing he used to kill the Cybermen, wouldn't that just kill Lee?
No, because Lee would be able to get out of the way. He'd have enough time to react.
I mean, what if he just kept doing it by the time the gates ran out?
I think that at that point, Lee would be able to jump up high enough.
Okay, but Krillin can be up, high up near the atmosphere.
No, he can't.
You're going to tell me
Can't
that
go
a
that
man can fly can't go that high?
He wouldn't be able to breathe if he's up at the end of the atmosphere.
Okay, he didn't have to go that high, but Lee can't jump that high.
Air would thin out at that altitude regardless.
See, that was my argument at the beginning of the fight, though. I don't know, but that's why I'm saying, in that specific case, I feel like Krillin would win, but it's a matter of Krillin getting up to that height immediately and knowing that he has the advantage in the air.
Which is
Because
guaranteed almost.
Because Lee has so many different ways that he could just body Krillin immediately.
Yeah, but that's only in the gates.
Exactly.
Which means he would have to go gates.
And
But he will go gates. I mean, that's a given. He will go gates.
Are you guaranteed he'd go gates first?
Yeah, not immediately, but as soon as the fight
Yeah,
starts.
he'd test it out, wouldn't he? And then he'd start getting bodied by Krillin.
But Krillin would too, because Krillin plays defensively. If the both of them exchange
You don't
blows,
know how Krillin fights!
yes, I do. I've seen him fight.
You saw him fight against the Saiyans and all of them. Rock Lee is a human, okay? He's not up there with them.
But Krillin doesn't know how strong Lee is.
He can sense power levels, sir.
Power levels are bullshit, Shellie.
He can sense if someone's stronger than him.
Lee's stronger than Krillin.
No, he's not.
See, I started off with my own believing in my own character, but the more I thought about it, I fuck Krillin.
I know, now I'm starting trying to defend your character, because you won't do it.
I won't do it because, I thought about it. Krillin has so many ways to die.
Yeah, but you didn't watch Dragon Ball.
I watched the important fights.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I watched the tournament arcs, and I watched the King Piccolo fight.
You didn't watch it.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
That's all I needed to see.
You didn't watch it.
I didn't watch all of it.
You didn't watch Dragon Ball.
But I did watch the tournament arcs, and I did watch the King Piccolo fight. That was it.
Uh-huh.
Everything that mattered.
Uh-huh.
Even Mercenary Tao and that bullshit.
Mercenary Tao is not bullshit. Mercenary Tao is the truth.
Anyway, I'm gonna give it.
Now?
I'm giving Krillin the lose, the L, if you would.
Hold it. You take it and you hold it. Hold
What do
that
you
up.
think, George?
I stand behind my boy. I stand behind my boy Lee.
All right, that's 2-1, Shellie.
I'm giving it to Krillin because he would just fly up in the air and just blow up half the planet.
We need to ask Toriyama who would win. We need to ask Kishimoto and Toriyama who would win in the
All
fight.
he'd have to do is do a full-powered Kamehameha. There you go. Boom, done.
But Lee could counter with
With a what?
with whatever he can
With what?
use at the
With
seventh
what?
gate.
Taijutsu?
Yes, he can use the Evening Tiger.
He doesn't know that.
He doesn't.
No.
Shit.
We're going with stuff that we've seen him use.
You can assume he knows it.
No, you can't.
Do that.
No, you cannot.
If Guy taught him, he can do it.
Guy's almost dead.
Guy's still alive though. Jesus saved him.
Wait. Let me teach you this before I die.
Hold the B button to release the powerful blast of energy. God. But yeah, that's it. That's game
Wait.
match.
That wouldn't. All right, never mind.
No, we can go, George. Your opinion means a lot to us.
You get out of here with that.
Shut up. Shellie, you hate his
Also-
opinion, especially when it comes to Nintendo.
Well, yeah, they're bastards.
He gonna front with me.
Wait, what were you going to say, George?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, that's fine. Your opinion didn't matter anyway.
See? You give him an inch and he'll take 50 feet.
I won't entertain this tomfoolery.
Anyway, I think that that's a stream, folks.
Yeah.
If we're being completely honest with ourselves. I'm getting bodied in this game.
I'm never honest with myself.
Core, why the fuck aren't you doing anything? Anyway.
I would like to
Stream
thank
guys.
Yeah. I'd like
Thank
to
you.
thank all of the half people who watched.
We had at least one guy watch, or he's gonna watch later, because he commented on my link in the group.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. Maybe not the most exciting stream, because we weren't talking about hentai. But, you know, things will develop.
Next time we'll talk about PSX.
Yeah, we probably will,
If
honestly.
anything happens.
If anything important happens, yeah.
It might just be a bunch of indie games.
Remember, kids, be sure to watch Capcom Cup.
And drink your
Because,
milk
you know-
and eat your cookies.
Also, turn up like Rock Lee. Okay, guys.